Hey you guys, my name is Taquisha. This is Our Freedom Song, and I am so happy that you are here. So we just finished up a crazy week of storms. We are in South Carolina in Zone 8B, and Debbie made her way through this area, Tropical Storm Debbie, and listen, I don't think none of us was really expecting the amount of rain that fell, because we've been in hurricanes before that haven't produced as much rain as Debbie did. Like, we had crazy flooding all around in our areas, but our actual property did not flood, which is such a blessing. We actually have friends right now that can't even get off of their property. That is crazy. So it's been a while since I showed you guys what was growing out in the front of our house in our file cabinet planters. So I thought the beginning of this video would be a good time to do that. We have a ton of mint right here that has flowered and went to seed, and oh boy, I don't know where this is going to pop up next, but I'm going to be coming out here and clipping all of the heads off and just replanting them right here in this container. Mint definitely spreads like wildfire, so I should have never let this get even to this point right here, but here we are. In this next bed, we do have some zinnias that's popped up, which makes me so happy because these zinnias love the heat and they last through our incredibly hot summer. And so they will give pop of color all summer long until our first frost. This bed of lemon balm has exploded, and that makes my heart so happy because I have been enjoying the best lemon balm tea almost every night now. I'm absolutely loving the lemon balm. It does have this calming effect, and it really does truly help me sleep better at night. This area right here is wild and crazy, but just today I was over here picking out carrots, and it's so fun to see carrots still growing over here. It makes my heart so very happy. I planted the seeds and I just let them go, and so these are such a fun treat that are just here, just waiting for us to pick and enjoy whenever we want. So finally, I do want to show you guys our $5 planter up here. It is still going strong. I know it's been a while since I showed you guys this, but I have watermelon planted in this bed and it's just trailing out of the bed, which I think is really beautiful, and there's space for it to do that. So when a watermelon starts to develop, what I do is I take it and I place it inside of the bed so it can be protected. So as you can see, there's one right there growing, and so I'll probably try to flip that up. It's pretty deep in there, but I'll probably try to flip that up and place it in the bed so it can be safe. But right over here, you can see we have a couple that are in there growing, and these are the sugar babies, and so these are going to be a small watermelon, I think 5 to 8 pounds. So exciting. So next I want to walk into the garden so you guys can see all the things. And when I say all the things, I mean the good, the bad, and the ugly. If calling anything in the garden can even be ugly, I mean, come on. It's all beautiful to me. Our grapevines are so beautiful. This is a weed. Let's pull that. Our grapevines are so beautiful. I'm so happy that they did not get attacked. I have friends who their grapevines literally looked just completely worn because they had beetles, and we did not have any of those beetles. And so our vines stayed very beautiful and very healthy throughout the whole season, which I'm grateful for. And we have been able to come out and pick some grapes every once in a while. This is our first year producing this amount of grapes, and so I know next year it'll be even more plentiful, which is exciting. If you're thinking about planting anything that fruits and it takes maybe 2 or 3 years and you think, oh no, I want something that's going to give me fruit right now, listen, my advice to you would be to just plant it, because that's exactly what I thought. I was like, man, 2 years, 3 years, I wanted to focus on what was going to get me some immediate results. But the 2 years that we've waited for, say, our pears to grow have been worth the wait this year. They have been worth the wait, and so I definitely want to encourage you to plant that fruit tree, plant that fruiting bush, whether it's raspberries or blueberries or blackberries or grapes. Go ahead and plant it and just leave it and forget about it. That way it's done, and before you know it, you are going to be having fruit, and it's going to be so worth it. So, like I said, I have been loving our pears. Yes, it has been 2 years, but totally worth the wait. We've gotten so much fruit from our pear trees this year. And just last week, I came out and did a harvest, and I was able to can them. And let me tell you, they were the best tasting pears that I've ever experienced. No, like night and day. There's some things that you make at home that may be similar to something you might get in the store, but listen, pears, those pears, I've never tasted pears. They weren't like gritty. They were firm but still soft, and the sweetness was perfect. It had some acidity, which was perfect. And best of all, my husband, who loves pears, it's his favorite thing. It's his most favorite fruit out of everyone in the house. And listen, he approves, and that made my heart so happy. Okay, so before I walk in, I just want to show you guys this angle, just really outside. Listen, that, y'all see that shade cloth just doing nothing. It's just chilling. It has nothing to protect. It's all kind of going the way of the world, Lots of marigold seeds that can be collected at this point, which is great. I love that. But everything is looking kind of, like it's on its last leg. And then it surprises you. You think something is completely dead because of the way that it looks, and then it starts producing fruit again. And so with all the rain, it's been incredibly hard to come out here and try to prune. And so I've not done much of that the last couple weeks, but I do plan to come out. It does look like it's going to be raining today pretty soon as well, but soon enough the rain will subside and I'll be able to come out and give our tomatoes another prune and just kind of see where everything is, if anything needs to be pulled up or what it is that needs to be done. Let's go in. It's so funny because every time I come through the gate, I legit run, y'all. I can't lie. I think it's so beautiful, but when I'm in it, I feel like, what if something is like a snake or something that's just up in there and it's gonna like follow me? So I'm scared like that. I still love nature though. Listen, you cannot be a fan of bugs and lizards and snakes and all the things, and you can still garden. You can still garden because I'm doing it. Our TP trellis is hanging in there, y'all. It is, and I'm like, wow, so green and just, it's a loving life. All of our pepper plants over here are hanging in there, which is nice. I'm loving that we are still getting bits and pieces of harvest. Like I said last week, I was also out here with my daughter and we harvested a ton of peppers. Pepper harvests are just so fun and we collected so many.
They're like filled with like juices.
So cool.
Yeah, I didn't make it.
You still need it. It's still on its way.
But it's all dried up.
It's better than a small dog.
Those are called, they're supposed to be called like a chocolate pepper. This is a little bell pepper. It's so cute. There's a big one, Mama, over there.
Big, clear, big. Second is good. The tomatoes are all covered. Another big one. We better miss that.
Blend it in. I was wondering why that was dipping down, hanging down with so much fruit.
So
Wow. You see it?
nice. Oops.
Peppers are, these kind of peppers are nice because they come off the vine nicely.
Peppers like to blend in.
Yeah.
Chopped it off.
Is it good? I actually don't have a harvest basket, so I'm putting these in my pocket. I'm putting them in my pocket. I actually wasn't planning to do any harvesting. I just wanted to give you guys a look around the garden, but it's kind of hard not to harvest it when it's right in front of your face. So as for our epic gardener bed right here, the basil has completely taken over, which I'm not mad about. As the flowers just kind of died back, the basil just really is showing up in this bed. So we'll have a ton of basil seeds that are going to come from this bed. Some of this Gumfrina is still holding on. We do have some of these beautiful cosmos that are giving little bits of pops of color in this bed, but overall it's definitely a basil haven. Everything in that right corner is kind of dying back. We do have some green beans that are hanging in there. As you can see, this space right here looks so empty compared to how it was, which is just so wild how quickly the cycle of life goes. So I am actually planning to plant a fall garden, but this whole in-ground area I'm going to actually put to sleep. So when it's time, I'm going to be pulling up all of these crops, and then I'm going to plant a cover crop, which is going to be red clover. And then after that grows, I'm going to fold it in and put all of these beds to sleep because I want to really build up the soil. So I'm going to be depending on our container garden for the fall for all of our fall crops. And so definitely minimizing our space of growing when it comes to all of our brassicas, but then again still okay with that because I love fall gardening. I think it's one of the best times to garden. The pest pressure is way down and it's just a really nice time to walk and enjoy the garden. I am 5'8" and this zinnia is probably a good at least 2 feet taller than I am, and I've never seen zinnias this high. They are reaching for the sky. So I've definitely considered just replanting in this space, but I just decided against it. Is that an onion that I see? How did I miss that onion? We have a whole full grown onion over here. I would probably leave it at this point and just let it continue to grow and then go to seed and collect those. But that might be our biggest onion. So other than the flowers that are planted over here, I think I'm just going to leave everything be. Once the rabbit came and cleaned up all of our bush beans, it thinned out incredibly in here. And then after that, tomatoes were spent, and so now this is just kind of what we're left with. Lots of basil, zinnias, cosmos. Our rosemary is hanging on. Did replant some pole beans just because I was hopeful that they would make it up the trellis before the bunny got it, and they have. And I specifically did that because I wanted some more greenery over here, and beans grow pretty quickly and we have such a long growing season. So that is it for our in-ground space. Now we're in our container garden and things are a lot more green still in here. As you saw from our last clip, this area has produced so much for our family. I think it's going to be giving food to our family for a while longer. Now this bed is like a wild jungle of goodness. It has everything from sweet potatoes, tomatoes, cosmos, zinnias. It has some strawberries planted in here, and it is just wild. And I'm leaving it like this. I did pick this tomato plant. Listen, I didn't do this to this tomato plant. I picked it up at Walmart. It was on clearance, and I believe that it can be brought back to health. It looks pretty bad, but they had it on clearance for a few dollars, and so I picked it up, and we're gonna see if we cannot get some tomatoes out of that beauty right there. Strawberry basket is hanging on, y'all. I did put this wire on there so it has not broken, and so it's lived. So I'm thinking it's going to continue to live, which makes me happy. We do still have a good bit of pears on our pear trees, and so I will be coming out to harvest those very soon because I have this recipe that I cannot wait to try. Look at this beautiful pink straw flower. Oh, so pretty. Did notice that our sweet potato vines are starting to bloom, and how fun is that? I've never experienced that before, and so I love it. Definitely filling up this trellis and just giving this whole area just new life. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me in the garden today. It makes my heart so happy. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time.